assurance engagement. So when you say assurance, parang from the word itself, no, it dictates some sort of confidence or certainty, right? So you are certain or something about a subject matter, about a matter, about an event that you are confident to say your opinion, assurance. So, but of course, before you say, before you give your assurance, you have to perform, you have to do something, right? So per PSA, of course, the assurance engagement, the definition itself is an engagement in which a practitioner. So when you say practitioner, ito na yung mga auditor. Let us say, let's be specific. If you are if you become a CPA, pwede kang maging accountant ng isang company, pwede ka rin maging auditor, right? So what we are trying to say here ng practitioner is ito yung mga nasa public practice. Okay? Public practice na kung saan they are issuing an independent opinion. Okay? So kaya sinasabi niya rito, a practitioner expresses a conclusion. Okay? So yung sinasabi niya, ako si practitioner, I will express a conclusion. Okay? Designed to enhance the degree of confidence. So, meaning, ikaw bilang intended users or ikaw na nagre-rely sa sasabihin ko, it enhance your confidence to rely on what will I say, on my opinion. Okay? So, yan yung detailed explanation ng assurance engagement. Wherein, sabi niya, other than the responsible party about the outcome of the evaluation. So ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo guys na before ka mag-issue ng conclusion, you will perform an evaluation or you will make a measurement. Okay, measurement. Sabi niya, ano yung i-measure mo? Ano yung i-evaluate mo? Subject matter. So for in the case ng isang auditor, let us say financial statement auditor, okay, ang subject matter ay ano? Sige, ang subject matter is the financial statement. Okay, against a criteria. So when you say criteria, ito naman yung benchmark. So let's proceed on the next one, reason. The other reason is that, but why? Ayun, but why? Why you need to distinguish assurance engagement? Because simply of the report. Ito pala guys Ito pala yung diniscuss ko sa inyo, no? The report should clearly distinguishes that report from assurance report dahil ayaw mong magkaroon ng implication na yung report mo ay in compliance of PSA, PSRE, or PSAE. Okay, malinaw yan ha? And then of course, ayaw mo rin magamit na you are using assurance, audit, or review these words, okay, na kung saan consulting engagement ka pala or tax engagement ka pala, okay? And then of course, at the end of the day, you don't want someone to be misled, to be mistaken, na gagamitin yung report mo kasi ang report mong in-issue is assurance report pero hindi naman pala assurance report. Okay? Clear tayo dun guys? Clear tayo dun ha? Okay? So, let's proceed on our next reason. How to accept an assurance engagement. Ito yung pinaka-importante. Isa sa pinaka-importante guys, no? Kailangan mo maintindihan ng assurance engagement. Una, because para alam mo kung anong report ang gagamitin. Okay? Pangalawa is, i-accept mo ba or hindi? Okay? Yung assurance engagement. So the ikaw, so imaginein mo yung sarili mo, no, na CPA ka na, nakapasa ka this batch. Okay? So magkakaroon ka ng first client. Ikaw bilang auditor or practitioner, you should have the capability to assess whether you're going to accept or not the engagement. Okay? Medyo mahirap yan, ano? Medyo mahirap yan na i-assess, lalo na if first client mo. So ako noon, I think ang first client ko noon is worth 35,000. So medyo malaki yung first client ko noon. Ang ginawa ko noon is more on consulting wherein I prepared the policies and procedures of the company. Maliit lang naman na company. So, yun, it's more on consulting. But at the end of the day, yeah, medyo nakakakaba kasi what if hindi mo kayang gawin pala, no? Anong kailangan mong gawin? Alright? So, ikaw bilang an auditor, at the end of the day, you have to assess whether capable ka ba, okay? May professional competence ka ba? Or let us say, ito, meron siyang sinasabi rito na if all characteristics of acceptable engagement is present. So sabi pala niya, no? Ikaw bilang auditor, you should have the capability to assess kung acceptable or not yung engagement. But at the end of the day, para malaman mo na acceptable or hindi yung engagement, kailangan alam mo kung ano yung mga characteristics ng acceptable engagement. Okay, which is, I will give to you kung ano ba yung mga characteristics na yan. Ayan. So guys, dahil malapit tayo sa our organization is peak pa. So ginawa ko na lang na binase ko doon, no, para hindi nyo makalimutan. Ginawa kong peak po, 'di ba? Peak po, edi ang dali ng tandaan, no? So these are the required fundamental ethic principles na kailangan mo. Una kasing characteristic is the ethical requirements bilang auditor. Na you are competent, you will perform due care, may integrity ka, confidentiality, you will respect the confidentiality, the professional behavior, of course, your professional behavior as an auditor, and then your objectivity. Okay? So these are the required fundamental ethic principles na kailangan mo. One of the characteristic para maging acceptable yung engagement. Anong ibig sabihin yan, guys? Ikaw, bilang auditor, before you accept the engagement, kailangan masatisfy mo, okay, na nagko-comply ka sa ethical requirements. Ano ba yung ethical requirements na yan? Which is professional competence. So, ibig sabihin, guys, you will not involve yourself na kung saan you are not competent or hindi ka, okay, you don't have enough experience. Integrity. O baka na naman mamaya, yung integrity naman ng company ay is very low and then you don't need to engage yourself dun sa mga company na gano'n. Confidentiality, you have to ensure na kung ano man yung napag-uusapan nyo ng client ay it will stay within the room. So there will be a confidentiality issue or confidentiality clause. So you have to respect that. Professional behavior, and then of course you being as a CPA, you are required to behave properly. Okay, and then of course you have to perform the objectivity. You have to assess, you have to make a critical assessment na objective dapat. Okay? Na hindi ka, alam mo yon, na may critical thinking ka, na meron kang professional skepticism, that you're going to assess the evidence obtained objectively. Right? So that is first, isa pa lang yan guys, no? That is a first characteristic ng acceptable engagement. So next is, so number 1 is ethical requirements. Next is subject matter is appropriate. Criteria is suitable. Practitioners access to sufficient appropriate evidence to support conclusion. The practitioner's conclusion should be in written report, rational purpose of the engagement. So, let me discuss to you. Okay? Subject matter. One is, ano ba itong subject matter na to? Subject matter is appropriate. So, let's go directly no sa financial statement audit. Okay? Sa financial statement audit, ano ang subject matter? Exactly. It's the financial statement. Okay? So, ikaw bilang auditor, you have to ensure na, teka, appropriate ba yung subject matter na yung gustong ipa-audit ng company? Baka naman mamaya kung ano-ano ang ipapa-audit ng company. Right? So, one engagement na meron sa akin is like yung isang company, let us say, meron siyang FS, pero wala naman siyang magulo. Wala siyang, I mean, meron siyang libro pero magulo yung mga supporting documents. So may time na or merong isang client na dinecline ko because I would not know if yung FS is appropriate, right? Yung subject matter is appropriate, is properly prepared, appropriately prepared. So dinecline ko na siya kasi at the end of the day, mahihirapan ako, ayaw ko din mahihirapan, and then at the end of the day, yung practitioner's name, pangalan ko ay kakabit, no, will be associated in the financial statement by the form of audit report. Okay? Next is criteria is suitable and available to the intended user. So ibig sabihin, criteria. Ano ba yung criteria na yan na ginagamit ng company? Or ako bilang auditor, ano ba yung gagamitin kong criteria? Technically, when you say criteria, guys, ito yung standards. It could be standards na acceptable dito sa Pilipinas, standards na international accounting standards, pwede rin yung standards issued by the authority, okay, or any authoritative body dito sa Pilipinas. So it's possible criteria is suitable. Hindi pwede yung gawa-gawa lang, right? So again, number one, you have to ensure na yung nasatisfy mo yung ethical requirements bilang CPA. Number two is subject matter is appropriate. Number three is the criteria is suitable. And then of course, ikaw bilang auditor, since you will engage yourself, you have to ensure, you have to get from the client na, hey, kailangan meron akong ipa-perform na mga audit procedure. So you have to ensure na I have access sa mga documents mo. Okay, so yung kwento ko kanina guys, kanina BND, as you imagine, no, as you can see na kung saan dinecline ko because at the end of the day, wala akong access sa supporting documents ng company, hindi ko rin ma-audit yung FS niya, so I decline. I did not accept the engagement. So, yan yung idea ng practitioner's access to sufficient appropriate evidence to support your conclusion. Okay, conclusion. And then next is, of course, when you say yung inaccept mo na yung engagement, syempre, dapat written yung report through the form of assurance report or yung auditor's report. Okay? So, and then next is, may chances kasi baka mamaya hindi malinaw sa client na kailangan written yung report mo. Okay, so wag mo nang i-accept, right? Or you have to you let the client understand na dapat written to. Okay? And then of course, rationale purpose of the engagement. At the end of the day, you want to assess, you want to determine may purpose ba, may dahilan ba, may katanggap-tanggap ba na reason para sa engagement. Baka mamaya gagamitin lang yung pangalan mo, so don't engage yourself dun sa mga gagamit lang ng pangalan mo. Okay? So guys, no, for you to understand na acceptable ba engagement, una, you have to assess yourself. Okay? You have to satisfy na, let us say, meron ba akong PICPO, professional competence, due care, okay, PICPO. Meron ba akong integrity or integrity ng company na gusto na kukuha sa akin, okay? Pangalawa is competence, tapos na yung pangalawa, no, PICPO. The letter C is confidentiality. You have to ensure yung confidentiality between you and the company, okay? And then of course, professional behavior, and then your objectivity as an auditor, okay? So from there guys, no, kailangan mong ma-meet muna yon. Yun yung pinakaunang requirement. And then at the end of the day, yung B, C, D, E, F kasi is madali na lang tong i-assess ano ba yung gustong i-audit, ipa-audit ng company. Ano ba yung criteria ng company na ginagamit? Okay? Makakakuha ba ako ng sufficient evidence dito para supportahan yung magiging conclusion ko? Okay? And then of course, written report. Okay? Written report, and then of course, as a whole, you want to assess, reasonable ba? Okay? Reasonable ba yung purpose ng engagement? Ano bang gusto naming ma-achieve sa engagement na to? Okay.